So, first off, I mean, 2 touchdowns in this game, and it was kind of like, it seemed like it was like the same play, shrug somebody off and get in there. Like, talk to me about today's performance.
Had a hard week of practice, and I think it just showed what it takes, after last week, not that good of a performance and coming back and working hard and showing resilience, and that's what it was.
And then talk a little bit about the defense. I mean, you guys are leading the FCS with 6 defensive touchdowns.
Yes.
I mean, y'all are dogs. Talk to me about that, man.
Praise to them. It's nice because I get that look in practice every day, so it makes the games easy. So, but shout out to them. Shout out to Jerry Riggins for getting that recovery and touchdown. Yeah.
And then looking kind of at the offense as well, you guys scored 40 points in today's game, and that's the most you've had since, I think it was like September of last season. Just what's it like to be able to run the score up like that, in a respectful way?
Yeah, it's amazing. We've been preaching. Our goal is always, 40 points, every game, and we were able to go out there and do it, execute. And shout out to Coach Aponte for doing that and leading us.
Especially in that first half, what worked well between you and Grant in that connection?
Just the fundamentals of what we've been working throughout the week. We try to set up shorter routes for me to get in space and go, and it worked out.
I don't know if you know this or not, Anderson can confirm this, but it was I think it tied a program record, 14 reception in a single game. And I think 186 yards, that was close to, well, no, not close to breaking. Talk about just, what is that, talk about the performance.
Man, it's a blessing. I want to thank God, but especially I didn't even know that. It's great to hear with a smile on my face.
How much can a game like this help you guys moving forward, especially with the offensive performance that you guys had?
Just keep pushing it in practice. We're on a high right now, and we want to keep that going. So yeah.
What were some of the challenges that this team takes away, even from how good this game was, going into the rest of the year?
Challenges, probably man. We knew that they were going to be kind of weak on the outsides with our wide receivers, so we wanted to take advantage of that, and it showed. And yeah, definitely in the run game too. Logan was toting that rock, so yeah.
What's that like, kind of like mentality when you get the success of the passing the way it was, in addition to Logan in the run game?
It's poetry in motion. That's what you want as an offense, both run and pass, to be dominant, and yeah.
Anything else for Jassim?
Oh yeah, last thing, because I know we talked about it, but now that you kind of like digested it,
yeah.
Great stat, by the way. Like, you made history. Just walk us through like your individual performance today and just what it felt like, and now icing on the cake that my man is telling you that you made history. Talk to me.
Yeah, I just try to take it play by play, even if it's a big play, bad play, whatever. Just try to clear it in my head and keep going. And I don't really think about it or try to, count in my head. I just chug, try to keep going.
Kind of like what we just talked about before we got on camera is walk me through that touchdown, man.
So my job is to play the quarterback, and I was playing the quarterback. I can tell like they were trying to hold the mesh, trying to really read me, and then I can tell the quarterback really couldn't make a decision. So they panicked, dropped the ball, and I was just there in good position. Scoop in, I had a caravan with me, carried me to the end zone, so that felt good.
Right on, and kind of piggybacking off of that for the whole team, like with that touchdown that you had, you guys are leading the FCS in touchdowns. Just talk to me about how special this defense is, man.
This defense is full of a bunch of guys, like a bunch of players, just so solid and tight knit. And every time that someone gets a turnover or someone makes a big play, we celebrate with each other. And so we're always leading each other to the end zone or leading each other to big plays and setting it up for the other person. So when we're playing for each other and playing like that, playing off of each other, I think big plays happen really easily. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons why.
Right on. Last thing for me is this: is that before we got on camera, you talked about how it feels so good to get that get back, because in Carolina you guys lost to them last time, and now you won today. So talk to me about a little bit about how that feels.
Yeah, I mean, the Carolina loss last year was horrible. Like my family's from Carolina originally, so going over there to Carolina is kind of like a homecoming for me. And then going over there and losing the way we did was just embarrassing. You know, we went home with our tails tucked. Everybody was hurting after that game, and this game was just revenge. And this team always comes out and, you know, leads the nation in rushing yards. And so we knew that we had to stop the run. And once we did that, I felt like they lost confidence. Once I returned the touchdown, they lost confidence, and we just kept smacking them. They started losing confidence, and you could really see us start flying around.
Jerry, you mentioned this is a team that you faced in having the most rushing yards in the country in the FCS. How was that sort of a challenge in the planning this week?
So as a linebacker, you know, our main job really is to stop the run, and especially as the outside linebackers, never to let anything get outside of you. We know that that's the two things that they want to do. They want to run that inside A-gap run, and then they want to run that option, that speed option to the outside. So stopping that was two biggest things. They were never trying to hit it tight in the B-gap or anything crazy like that. So my job was just to shove and then play the option. I think it was just a game that all of us had to really be dialed in, and so I really appreciated all my guys showing up for me. And then yeah, we got it done.
When it came back to that fumble touchdown return, how much did that help stop that momentum from Davidson and make sure that momentum was still on your side?
I mean, we came out with the first of all, we came out with the big 3-and-out stop, and the offense scored on that first drive of the game. So that was huge for us with momentum. They came back swinging, they came back punching. They thought that they could play with us, and so I think really going back and returning it kind of flipped the script and killed their confidence, and they kind of got away from trying to really do that to us and like trying to read us as well. I think that they got some more scripted stuff, so that felt really good.
Last thing I got, how does it feel to join that touchdown party now amongst your defense now?
Oh my gosh, no, that was the whole thing going into this game. They told us like, our defensive coordinator told us this is an option team. They're going to put that ball on the ground when they're trying to read in that mesh. And they said the linebackers, man, we didn't have a touchdown yet, like as a whole. So it felt really good. I know safeties have touchdowns, corners have touchdowns, outside linebackers have touchdowns. So now really it's up to the inside linebackers. Then we'll have everybody getting touchdowns.
First thing, just thoughts on this game.
I thought it was awesome the way we rebounded. We took a real tough loss last week. St. Thomas kind of had their way with us defensively, and I think we battled back this week. It was great to see our defense respond, play discipline, stay focused throughout the game, and our offense was electric today. They did an amazing job. I think we punted once or twice, which is always good to see in the football, and we got to score on defense again, which is it's always hard to lose when you're scoring points on the defensive side of the ball.
And kind of building off what you just said, right? Defense, you're still leading FCS in defensive touchdowns. Just as a coach, what's it like to have guys with that much presence of mind and just dogging them to go and take it all the way to the house?
Well, I think it's an emphasis for us every week. It's a focus for us every week. And it's a direct reflection of what the coaches are talking about and what they're drilling throughout the day. The players adopted it, did a great job flying around, having urgency towards the football, and I thought we did a great job of that today.
Last thing for me, you haven't scored 40 points at home. I believe the last time was like September of last year or something like that. Just talk to me about just how you said like how tenacious this offense was tonight.
What was important? I thought the main thing we did today that we've done in previous games is we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot. With penalties or missteps, we took care of the football. Didn't have any turnovers, which was excellent. Took too many sacks still, but I thought the way we responded to those adverse situations, when we got a penalty or when there was a negative play, those situations we responded well. And whenever you can do that, you can be successful.
Brandon, you think about this game, it's now 5-0 at home this year. How does that feel, first off, that you're being able to win games at home?
Well, it's tough. One of the toughest things about the Pioneer Football League is the travel. We play multiple games on both coasts, and every team faces that adversity when they travel. So when we're home, I think it's indicative of the team that we can be. We're just learning how to be more effective in our travel and how to be more effective on the road, I think is the key to us being a better football team.
You mentioned the offense. About what was it like seeing Grant have the performance that he had? It was a season high in yards on top of just seeing being able to have, I believe it was a single game program record, but tying that record with 14 receptions.
Well, that's awesome. I haven't had a chance to look at the stats yet, but quarterback threw for 3 touchdowns. We kept him upright for most of the day. And Grant's the type of player, if you give him time, if you give him an opportunity, then he's going to dice you up. He took excellent care of the football today and managed the game perfectly.
Anything else for Coach?
Yeah, I do. You think about that touchdown to Bradley. What kind of did you see there for Bradley to get open for that big?
I think it was more of 12 escaping, but Grant did a great job creating space, creating time for himself, and lack of discipline on their side of the ball, and we had a guy wide open by himself. So great job by Grant, great job by Bradley, staying open and catching the ball and running home.
When it comes to the running game, what have you seen in Logan over these last couple weeks, emerging into that number 1 role?
Logan does a great job stepping out of tackles. The first defender very rarely gets him down, which has been effective for us to be able to run the ball.
And then defensively, what was it like seeing Jerry being able to scoop up that touchdown, scoop up that fumble, and return to home? Your 6th defensive touchdown of the year. Well,
it was great seeing Jerry Riggins be disciplined all day. He played a complete game. He did an excellent job, and it's just a credit to him. Jerry's always around the football. He plays with a tenacious attitude, and you always get 100% effort from him.
What did you see out of your defense today, especially knowing that this is a Davidson team that has the most rushing yards in the FCS?
Yeah, I thought one of the things, I think the most important thing we saw was that, Davidson has a good offense. Davidson is a good team, and they're going to have success. And our response to their success and our ability to rebound when they had success, to keep them out of the end zone or keep them off the board was ultimately what was the difference.